it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio. Today I'm sharing with you a couple of mixed media altered shipping tags. And these are for our event at Art Joy of Sharing Facebook community called hashtag AJOS Abstract August. Love it. Love to do abstract art. And I'm just doing different things as we go through the month. I had this little sack of different tags that had something on them. They weren't blank, but they weren't finished. And I decided that when I don't have something else like an art journal page or a canvas or something during the month, that I would work on this little sack of tags and try to use them up. Last year during Abstract August, which was the first year that we did it, I did, I think, almost all altered shipping tags. At least I did a lot of them. It's a fun thing to practice with. These are made out of manila cardstock, and it's been a popular thing in the mixed media world to do these little altered tags. So I have a huge box of them, and I just some of them I use them as experiments. Like in the case of this one, it had some texture on it, and that was created with heavy gesso on the tag, and then I scratched into it with well, probably this exact bamboo skewer that I'm using right now. And so that's what was on there. And I think I did maybe, I did, in fact, make a basics techniques type video that's here on my channel. I'll try to remember to link it in the iCard above up on the right hand side. That was all about things you could do with gesso, like gesso techniques or basics of gesso or something like that. And I think this tag probably came from that. I think I have a couple of other ones in that bag, but I don't need to keep them after I've used them for something like that. I just need to make them into something fun and pretty and eventually mail them to somebody, which is usually what happens to these tags is they go in envelopes as I'm mailing out stuff. They also make great bookmarks. Occasionally I will take a stack of them over to the library and leave them there for people to use. Uh, that's kind of what the type of stuff that they're good for. Also, I made at one point, here's another video somewhere on my channel, that I made a little tag book, and it had these little fold up pockets, and the whole book was designed to tuck the tags in. Another way to store them and display them. It's kind of like a journal, sort of, but it's just all tags instead. So, I mean, there's tons of things you can do with them. There's a lady that I follow on Instagram named Brigitte Koopson. She reps for Gel Press, I believe. I think it's Gel Press and not Jelly Arts. Either way, she makes these little tag books where she puts a piece of tape on the side, and she's got videos on YouTube doing that. I mean, there's tons of things you can do with these tags. People look at them and they're like, "Oh, what are you going to do with that?" Well, there's lots of things to do with it. It's just a fun little piece of art. So back to what I was doing on the tag. I did a little bit of dripping with some Golden High Flow. That's a fluid acrylic from Golden Company. It's a very high quality, very pigmented. Golden is probably the top, if maybe at least one of the top companies out there manufacturing paints for artists. So it's really nice paint. And I dripped it and I sprayed it and let it run down. Did some fun stuff like that, trying to kind of highlight some of that textures that is in the background of the tag with the gesso. You'll see it a little bit up close when there's close-ups at the end, but most of the texture really kind of didn't come out very much. Then I added a little bit of collage and some gesso to kind of tone down a few things. And I guess I should mention that the prompt, we do have a prompt list for our AGOS Abstract August daily Abstract August thing that we're doing over in the art community. And this one was note. That was or no, not note, tune. It was tune. And so I wanted to do something abstract. I wanted it to be interesting and abstract and not look like something, but yet be reminiscent of something, or maybe it would give you the idea of something. I think that abstract art that gives you a feeling or an emotion or an idea is really interesting. So once I had done my background and added a little bit of gesso and this and that, then I decided I would take another color, which would be a complementary color or opposite on the wheel, um, which is this kind of red orange color of paper, and I would punch out some circles and make some like notes, little notes that don't look exactly like notes, but yet they give you the idea of it. Also, I was making all of my composition uh, horizontal lines because, like, when you read music, it has the horizontal lines and then the notes are perched on there so that you can read the music and duplicate it. So that's where I was going with this one. I think it turned out pretty cute. I like it. I wanted to have a background. A lot of times I'll do this with my shipping tags and also my ATCs because I'm a messy person, and the paint and ink and stuff, it runs onto the back, and the back just doesn't look very pretty. So I like to cover it. I also like to have a frame around things, and this is a personal preference. I just really like frames around things. It makes me happy. I did put some ink around the edges with an ink pad. I think it's probably a dark blue ink pad. Um, but then I still put on this teal turquoise color uh, cardstock on the back, trimmed it to the right size, punched a hole, and added some fibers. I like to add fibers to my altered shipping tags. So this one was for day 2. Day 1, I had a canvas. Day 3, I had an art journal page. And so the next one you'll see on this video is day 4. Yeah, I know it's kind of confusing. They're not going in order, but I'm still filming them. I'm still putting them on Instagram each day. So you may have seen picture of this already, but the videos will be clumped together like this one is with 2 different tags. So this is the altered shipping tag for the AJOS Abstract August, day 2, which was Tune. It's even got a little bit of music there in the background, but I didn't want it to be obvious. I wanted it to just kind of shine through a little bit. So there you go. Here is day 4, and day 4's prompt was article. And I was thinking, okay, well, that could mean a couple different things. An article, like an article in a magazine or, a blog or wherever you might read an article, newspaper, or it could mean an article of clothing, or I mean, there's multiple uses for the word, which is really why I like one word prompts. We use them also in our pick a stick challenge, and just even I think we do them in our October art journaling everyday challenge too. It just gives you a jumping off point. You hear the word, you think about what the word means. Maybe you look up the word, and maybe you even look up, like, is there a poem that has this word in it? Maybe the word means some type of an action, maybe it means some type of an emotion. It's interesting to me to use a one word prompt. However, for this challenge, this daily challenge, it's only just about making abstract art each day, trying to get you going and moving and learning about abstract art and practicing and actually just doing something. Doing something is really important, especially in these days and age where we are all just a little bit fatigued from all this pandemic stuff, and our brains are tired, and just getting in there and doing a little bit of art each day, even if it's something small like this. This isn't going to go in the Louvre. I mean, it's just a little piece of paper that I will send off somewhere at some point to make someone else happy, and it makes me happy to do it. It makes me happy to sit there and play with my paper and my glue and my colors And so, that's what all of this is about. We love to do art, we love to share our art, and that's what we're doing here. So for this one, the background had some stenciling on it that had letters, but they were real. You really couldn't. It can't. Definitely cannot read it. Just it was just. I think probably using up some paint on a stencil that I used for something else, and then I had this leftovers. And sometimes when I have leftovers, I will either scrape them onto the paper, my under paper, or I might, if I have a stack of tags there, I might just throw the paint on there. So that's what this is. I don't know when it happened. I don't know why it happened, but that's what happens. And I've been working in my studio, cleaning and sorting and organizing, and I found this tag and the other ones that I'll be using for this sometime during the month. So, article. It made me think about articles in the newspaper, articles on the internet, articles that have words. And because of the situation that our world is in, there's just so much talking going on. So much, everybody's got an opinion. Everybody's got to say their opinion. And they write articles and they do vlogs and blogs and podcasts and, the magazine and the newspaper and the TV, and it's all out there. There's all this information. But it's fatiguing. It's very fatiguing. I'm tired of the pandemic. I'm tired of worrying about everything all the time. We all are. We're exhausted. And the other thing is that things that are being written in the newspaper and things that are being said on the TV and in the magazine aren't necessarily guaranteed to be true anymore. And so our world has changed, and I don't think for the better. I would like to be able to just read an article and know that it's true, or at least let the person who wrote the article say this is my opinion first before they don't, go off and try to say that what they're saying is true. So my my tag that I made, my abstract art that I made this time is a little bit dark because that's what I was thinking. Doesn't mean it can't be pretty. It can still be pretty and be dark at the same time. So I used a lot of different paper that had writing on it. Some of it was like script tissue paper. Some of it was dictionary paper. Some of it was paper from a book. There was a newspaper that had some interesting. I really like the look of Asian writing. I think it looks cool because it's pictographs. Um, I also used some different washi tapes. I used some other paper that had kind of some writing in the background, but it also had other mark making on it that was pinks and oranges and yellows to kind of, everything was neutral except for those papers. And so I wanted to bring some life to the piece. I also used a piece of washi tape that has a skeleton on it because a lot of the talk right now is about death and sickness and, um, you know, everybody being sick. So, and I just found out yesterday that people in my own household have COVID. So, I'm thinking about that. We're all wearing masks and isolating in separate rooms and getting tested, and all that stuff is on my mind. It's weighing down my life. And so that's kind of what this tag is about, even though it has some nice colors on it and it's pretty. So then I did some mark making with some, well, this one is a spool, and that paper will sometimes show up, that under paper will show up sometime in another collage. That one was from inside of a tape roll, like a Scotch tape roll. Empty, pulled that out to make marks. The other one that I used was a tube that used to be inside of a paper roll, rolled up paper, to do like light pink mark making. And I like to do that sometimes with those type of things. Just stuff you can find around the house. Um, what else did I do? Oh, I pumped up those colors of pinks and oranges in the background by using my gel sticks from King Art. They're like just gel color that you can blend with your finger, kind of the consistency of lipstick. And so I used that to just kind of highlight some of those colors that were in that one piece of paper because everything else was so neutral, uh, kind of manila tan and brown and black. We just wanted some color. I like color in my life. So then this is, I got out some rubber stamps, um, and I stamped onto a piece of that book paper the letters FAQ, which stands for facts. It's more of like information type fact. Like if you look on, you look at something, then it's like the things that's what they mark it. You know what I'm talking about. You guys, I don't have to explain this. It's the shortening of the word fact, basically, or facts. So I thought that graphic nature of the letters interests me. I often use letters and numbers in my work because they're like pictures, but they're not pictures. They mean something and they're interesting to me. They're graphic. In the case of that one, I used a very large font of rubber stamp. And it really it gives an impact. It draws your eye. Um, you see that first, and then as you look at that, you look around to the other stuff. You know what I mean? So I put that on there. And then I was using a stencil from Stencil Girl Products that has some words on it. And it's like a mask stencil. The words come out the color of what's underneath. And then I use black to like block out to make words. Um, I did some splattering. Yeah, I think I'm just about done with this one. I hope you guys have enjoyed these two altered tags for Abstract August. If you haven't joined our group, come on over to Facebook and ask to join. The link for Art Joy of Sharing Art Community will be down below the video, and you can click on that. Just make sure that you join, or when you're asking to join, that you answer the questions that pop up, because otherwise we won't accept you. That's our way of keeping out people that are trying to sell stuff and be annoying in the group. Also, if you did like this video, please subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on your notification bells if you have subscribed so that you know when there's a fresh new video out. You can give me a thumbs up. You can leave me a comment or question below. All those things help my channel grow. So I'm very happy when you do that stuff. So this one is about done. I put some fibers in it, and here's your close-ups. Thanks. Bye-bye.